live. Let me shield my stream. Are we live? Can you hear me? We got 8 people already. That's pretty cool. Can you guys hear me? Write in the chat if you can. Oh. I guess I have to check if I can hear. If people can hear me. Let's see. Alright. So you can hear me. Great. Great. We got a black screen because I just need to click a single button to activate my face cam. So we got great. We got a couple questions asked in the live stream announcement. I'm gonna have to warm myself up. I'm gonna be pretty slow when I'm speaking. Gotta be kind of quiet so that my next door neighbors don't get mad at me next time. Oh yeah, gotta mute my phone. All right, cool. So you're not gonna get a random laughter. All right, we already got 11 viewers. So got a couple announcements to make. In case you guys didn't know, the way that YouTube monetization works is I can't monetize my channel because I don't have like 4K watch hours apparently. But I have 1,000 subscribers, so I can't enable super chat or whatever, which isn't really that big of a deal. I don't really make too long videos, so I guess that's why watch hours are a bit too low. Despite Adam's laugh, because yeah, it's pretty great. I should enable it for the comedy relief. So we're already getting a lot of viewers. 15, it's a lot for me. So I'll get straight ahead with the questions from the live stream announcement. Might as well open the camera. Got a drum roll time. Streamlabs. Streamlabs for what? Use Streamlabs. What is Streamlabs? Top streaming platform for Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I'll check it out. I don't really know what Streamlabs is. Might be pretty cool, might be not. So drum rolls. The long-awaited. It's not long-awaited, but the long-awaited face reveal is coming, and hopefully I don't look like a mongrel. Here we go. This is me. Should appear on the preview right now, but this is me. You can see this beautiful flag. I'm a big LARPer. Where's my water? Oh, give me a second. Look at this. Crystallized. It's very crystallized for me, but I don't know if it looks crystallized for you. Face reveal. Did it come up? Yeah, it's come up. Hello, boys. This is the guy that's making the videos. I'm gonna put this cap on because I don't want my hair to get in front of my face. Now I look like a Jew. If you noticed, I got the soybean game console. You look like a less Jewish Kylo Ren. Yep. I look pretty Jewish. I got a Nintendo Switch, and you can see from the reflections that I have a couple icons right in front of me. This is the Prophet Job. That's the 3 holy hierarchs. This is like next gen level. I'm using my Nintendo Switch to reflect, so guys can check my icons out. That's a weird icon. I gotta show it properly because my parents got this for me from Cappadocia. Ekrem İmamoğlu phenotype. So we got this from Cappadocia, and this is like I think this is a candle wax icon. I got it blessed, so I got it blessed by my priest. So this is a candle wax icon, which is pretty cool. This is from Cappadocia. I don't know where they got it from. I told my parents to ask them, where'd you get this from? And they were like, this was just in the building apparently, and my parents bought it for me. So let's get to the questions. You look like a. Does the hat say autistic? No, it says Nautica. Actually, a girl from my high school gave this to me as a present, as a Christmas present, in fact. So we're getting into the Christmas spirit with this. So yeah, Aryan phenotype. Thank you. We need Discord. Yeah, I actually do have a Discord channel. As a matter of fact, when I looked up the Council of Florence, I made a separate channel that only I can see, where I just dumped a bunch of screenshots about the Council of Florence, about the book I read on the Council of Florence. So I'll probably open that Discord server up. I'm just a lazy POS. I don't really like maintaining things, so I'm probably gonna have to hire a Discord slave, to look that up for me. So I'll just get to the questions right now, since we already got a lot of people in here. A lot being 24. That's a lot for me. So let's go with someone asked, Adam Miller. Is it okay to be an ex-Muslim in Turkey? Yes, it is. Legally speaking, yes. It depends on the region. I mean, if you're on the West Coast, if you're on the Asian coast, they don't give a shit. They don't care. But let's say if you're in Konya, there's going to be a lot of social ramifications. It depends from region to region. I mean, that's a lot of things with Turkey depends on the region, right? If you're in a conservative region, then it's pretty Muslim. But even then, even in conservative regions, it's not like it's not as if there's any like legal ramifications or anything. There's going to be social ramifications. So people, if they apostatize, they generally hide their religious affiliation. But in places like Constantinople, in places like in Smyrna, Izmir, they don't care. Why are you black? I'm black. Why are you black? Why are all Orthodox bros so handsome? This is surely proof that the Orthodox Church is the truth. Thank you. But yeah, Ortho bros pretty handsome. Greeks are black. That's true. I'm Greek, so I'm black. Where do you stand on the Coomer question? I already made a video on the Coomer question where I try to help out people on how to not end up becoming a Coomer. I'm basically anti-Coomer. It's a hard thing, right? Anyone that's like willingly pro-Coomer is an idiot or an atheist or both. So most of the time, both. Yes, I indeed am black. How did you know? So yeah, it's not a big problem to be an ex-Muslim in Turkey. Let's go for what questions were there. Opinion / this is from Oscar. Opinion / ideas on spreading orthodoxy to the West and eventually to the rest of the world. How will orthodoxy do this? What do you think will happen, etc.? Thank you. It's a good question. I mean, I'm not really Western, so what I can do is basically this: the YouTube channel. That's what I can do. In terms of how we will do it, I think the best way we can do it. I checked Jonathan Jackson. He's a convert to Orthodox. He's apparently an actor, a musician. He's apparently kind of popular. So I listened to his interview. One thing that really sticked by me is that when he initially searched for churches in the U.S., in California, some of the churches he found, he felt like, this is not like the pre-schism church that I'm used to. And I know this is, the pre-schism church, but he went to some modernized churches that are generally more liberal, and he felt like, this isn't the pre-schism church. So I think, why we have to ask ourselves this question: why will anyone convert to Orthodoxy? Why will anyone convert to this religion? And once you ask yourself that question, a lot of things will become evident. It's because they want to find a pre-schism church, right? They want to find a pre-schism church, the one true church. And we have to be like that in terms of, it's pretty hard for us, but in terms of holiness, but also in terms of liturgical structure, ecclesiastical structure, we got to imitate that sort of structure. So I think that's how we will eventually spread. People will they will want to look out for the authentic version of Christianity. And when they go into some like westernized church, they won't like it when they see pews. They won't like it when they hear organs. They will just say, this is like Roman Catholicism, but like it's like Easternized and it's without the Pope. And ultimately they will say, oh, why did I come here? So yeah, I think that's how we will have to do this. We have to stick to our roots. People are going to like us because we stick to our roots. And I think I don't remember who exactly, but there's a good quote on this. We have to be very modernist in the way we're spreading our message, but very traditional and dogmatic when it comes to our doctrine. So in terms of, liturgy and such, we have to be very, very strict and dogmatic. But in terms of, spreading orthodoxy, we have to find a way to make it accessible to every single person, whatever baggage you have. It has to be accessible to anyone. So it's a process that will probably end up being succeeded. So there was one other question. What's your opinion on nationalism? I gotta put this in a way that YouTube won't ban me, right? Because YouTube apparently is cracking down on some channels. I've heard some rumors about that. So shortest answer, good, but at the same time, you have to qualify what you mean by nationalism. Is it good to have nations with pure ethnicities? I mean, sure, yeah, but when I'm thinking about myself personally, I mean, it doesn't really affect me. So what I'm trying to say is, I mean, it's good. It's obviously something that's promoted. If you look at the Moscow Patriarchate statement on nationalism, let me find it. Church and Nation. This document, I'll put it in the live chat. So this document is pretty much my view on nationalism. I completely endorse the statement from the Moscow Patriarchate. I think they pretty much got it correctly. So yeah, that's basically my view on nationalism. So let's check out the chat. Show DNA test. I already showed it my DNA test on Twitter. I don't need to show it again. Let me find it though. Yeah, it's this tweet. It's 55% West Asian, 45% gay reek. Where do you stand on the Kumar question? I already answered that. Based Byzantine flag. Being an Alevi has more social ramifications in Turkey than being Christian or a Jew. True, that's very true. But then again, it's dependent on region. If you go to the Western region, and I know Chad Diamond is in Turkey, so he probably knows this, probably even more than I do. It depends on region, right? A lot of Alevis are in southeast Turkey. I might be wrong though. So they have a lot of social ramifications. But in the Asian coast, personally, I've hanged around with a lot of like liberal, modernist Turkish groups, cliques, and they're pretty fond of Alevis. So again, it's really dependent on region. The east side is generally a lot more conservative, and the western side is generally a lot more liberal in Turkey. Coastal regions are generally also more liberal. This goes from both north and southern regions, I think. Um, your Twitter profile link is a link to Twitter Home. Really? Gotta fix that. Because that doesn't make much sense. Just arrived. But Timobo, nice. Timobo from Twitter. Just arrived. Thoughts on Thomists who say that St. Gregory Palamas was more cataphatic than earlier Eastern fathers. Why do you think they'd say that? It's very easy why they think that they say that, because St. Gregory Palamas is talking about the energies. I mean, in terms of energies, you are going to be cataphatic, right? So infinity is an energy, existence is an energy. St. Maximus the Confessor says the same things. And when it comes to the essence, pretty much all church fathers, including St. Gregory Palamas, are apophatic, right? So this is, they don't really understand the essence energies distinction. So when St. Gregory Palamas is talking about the energies, they think he's talking about the essence, right? That's why the Thomists will say these things. That's why he seems cataphatic, but he's cataphatic in terms of energies, which is, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? Love, that's an energy. Immutability is an energy. Again, these are all from St. Maximus the Confessor, and St. Gregory Palamas is just repeating what St. Maximus is saying. Video on divorce and remarriage. That's honestly the topic that I'm weak on. I mean, I know that in terms of divorce, I mean, we're more strict when it comes to divorce than Roman Catholics. Roman Catholics have divorce, they just call it annulment. They just pretend it never happened. Talmudic legalism. Talmudic Judaistic legalism. Why? I'm not even going to entertain that. I mean, you look at the annulment conditions that many of the Roman Catholic churches hand out, and they're much more liberal than how we view divorce, right? And 3 divorces. Okay, 3 divorces. Very cool. Try getting 3 divorces in an Orthodox church. You're gonna have a very hard time getting divorces in the Orthodox church. It's a very tough process. All right, it's a very tough, personalized process, and Roman Catholics, they just don't. I don't think they're trying to understand. They just try to make it like some apologetic. Oh, you have divorce. Imagine if they lived in Moses' time. Moses had divorce. Even Christ says Moses had divorce. Moses permitted divorce because your hearts were hardened. So imagine Roman Catholics at that time. They will call Moses a cuck. Oh, you allow divorce? Moses, you sound like a cuck, bruh. Come on, you ain't trad, Moses. Like, come on. Gotta be this. It's silly, right? Divorce is permitted because our hearts are hardened. It's not because it's an acceptable thing. Big water time, of course. What the fuck? David is a Chad? Thank you. I didn't know I was Chad. Girls don't really have that opinion, but who cares about what women think? Chad Diamond. Central and Southeast Anatolia, yeah. But Alevi identity is much more politicized, especially after the pogroms in 50s. People think that Christianity is exotic. So not much animosity left. That's very true. Christianity became very exotic in Turkey. It used to be not so exotic, but now it's like, if you see a Christian, I remember back when I was a catechumen and I had my cross necklace outside. I didn't know better. It's actually, did you know that you're supposed to put your necklace inside? Because, well, there's 2 reasons. One of them is my priest said that it's basically more traditional, right? It's by tradition, laymen put it inside, priests put it outside. But also because, as I mentioned before, it's the priest that's supposed to put the cross outside to signify that, yes, they are priests. Whereas the laymen, they're supposed to keep it inside, right? But I remember, I think I was at a vapur. What was English for vapur? Boat? No. But I was somewhere basically, and I was gonna buy something, and the person just asked, where are you from? Like, are you Bosnian or like? And I'm like, no, I'm from here, and like, yeah, I was kind of basically treated. I mean, it's not as if I'm against it. I mean, I don't mind if people treat me like some sort of exotic animal, but like that's kind of like how I was treated. So yeah, Alevis, it really depends, right? In Turkey, politics matter a lot. They matter a lot, and so they don't really care about the religion per se, outside of a few, religious Islamic people, which really are the minority in Turkey. But in terms of politics, if Christianity stands together with Islam in the political sphere, they won't mind Christianity. If it stands against in the political sphere, they will be very against Christianity. So it really depends on the political scene. Theoretically, you can get an infinite number of annulments, right? Yes, because an annulment is basically saying that the marriage never happened. It's not a legitimate marriage. You just pretended to be married, and it's cut off. That's what an annulment basically is. So you can get an infinite amount of annulment. You can marry someone and then get an annulment, right? In the old times, in ye olden medieval times, back when Thomas Aquinas and Scotuses were having fun in the playground, medieval kings will get their divorce that way, right? They will deliberately marry their relatives, and then they get annulments that way. They will say, "Oh, I didn't know she was my relative," even though they knew that they were their relatives, and everyone knew it. But it's just medieval politics, monarchical medieval politics. Um, so yeah, I mean that's how annulments historically have worked, and that's the way annulments work now is basically even worse than that. So as I said, it's Talmudic Jewish legalism. It's not annulments are not Christian. Uh, did your face and eyes change after becoming Orthodox? Is that a meme question or is that a real question? Because they didn't know. I mean, nah, they didn't. My eyes were always green. Um, it's not really easily perceivable, are they? Nah, but my eyes are green, and they always have been green. In terms of facial, maybe I did. I don't know. I might be wrong. Maybe I did. Um, video owning prots on relics. Friend of mine went off calling me a necromancer. Is that the you're talking about that instance where they were venerating a priest's foot? Yeah, I mean, I forgot which part of the Old Testament, but there is a moment in the Old Testament where relics were venerated. Let me try to find it. I know this. Old Testament relic veneration should be there. Thank God for Google. I don't have to memorize every single verse. Um, yeah, Elisha's bones in the book of Four Kingdoms, chapter 13, I believe. Right? And even in the New Testament, there's basis. So, Elisha's bones were venerated in the Old Testament period. So, veneration of relics was always a practice, even in Old Testament, Old Covenant Judaism. And we are just continuing that practice as the proper successors. So it's ultimately a silly objection. They haven't really read the Old Testament if they come up with an objection like that. Yeah, Elisha, we'll that. Elisha's bones, Paul's handkerchiefs. Yeah. Um, so there's a lot of instances in the Bible where relics are venerated. So this objection for Protestants is just silly. What are your thoughts on the Orthodox view of how many children to have? Ooh, that's a great question. Um, that's a great question. I'm a very ardent, hardcore proponent of have as many children as you possibly can party, and I think that's the Orthodox view, because it's multifaceted. I mean, in the modern age, it's very hard because there's a lot of financial pressure. But ideally speaking, let's say that money is not an issue, which for a lot of people it's not an issue. I know for me it's not an issue. Um, it's much easier to look after your children when you have a lot more kids, because one aspect of having a lot of kids that um, a lot of people miss is, uh, for example, let's say you have four kids. One of them's 10 years old, one of them's 8, another is 6. Say the other is like 14, 13, whatever. You're the There's going to be a delegation of responsibilities. So, for example, your 13-year-old kid is going to be the big brother for your children, and so they are basically going to be co-partners, right? They're going to be your co-parents in that regard. So you're going to parent that kid, and he in turn is going to look after his siblings, his smaller siblings, and so you're basically having a lot more parents, except your parents are 13-year-old and they're your children. And in that aspect, it allows your children to have a communal relationship. So a huge problem that we have today is that a lot of people are lonely. But if you have a lot of children, sure, they're not really friends per se, but they're still siblings, and they're still going to be helping you raise your children together, right? You're going to raise them, and they're going to raise their own brothers, sisters with you. So there's a lot of logic in having a lot of children. And of course, one of the first commandments is basically, I forgot the exact wording, but it's basically to multiply, right? Be fruitful and multiply. Yeah, that was it, from God to Abraham. So there's no reason to have not many. I mean, if you look at the birth rates today, literally every single European nation is basically below 2.1, and 2.1 is the replacement rate for first world nations. So it's very important, and it's very hard today because second wave feminism, first wave feminism, you have women working jobs, which is a catastrophe for families. This is one of the biggest problems for families. How are you going to look after your children if you have two of your partners, the husband and the wife, working? You're going to hire a babysitter, and then they're going to get attached to the babysitter. It just makes no sense. And I've seen a very good family where both sides have been working separate jobs. They ended up divorcing afterwards. I mean, it's pretty much inevitable. Divorce is inevitable in these situations because it's not a natural way for families to happen. And the modern system doesn't allow that to happen. That's the biggest problem. The modern system doesn't allow that to happen. More kids equals more work slaves. Yeah, true. True. One of the best things that you can do with your kids is, just like doing sports with them, doing physical activities with them all the time, right? They have endless energies. Make them really tired. Do boxing. Do whatever they're good at, right? Maybe chess. Chess takes a lot of energy. Takes a lot of calories. For children, it's just as good of a sport as soccer or basketball is. So there's a lot of different options that you can go for with your children. And I think smart parents can have really successful, smart, intelligent children. So yeah, have as many kids as you possibly can. It's the best thing you can do. Can you speak in your native language for a bit, just out of curiosity, please? Bilmem. Konuşabilir miyim? My Turkish accent is very bad. Benim Türkçe aksanım çok kötü. Bazen Türkçe konuşmaya çalışırken çok takılıyorum ya da doğal konuşmuyorum. Ne zaman birisiyle Türkçe konuşsam hemen anlıyor, hani sen Türk değilsin. Direktman anlıyorlar. So what I just said is basically I have a hard time speaking Turkish, and when I was trying to speak Turkish to people, sometimes, not all of the time, but sometimes, people will not. So you're not a native Turkish speaker, like you're not Turkish, are you? Like, so that's basically a sneak peek. I don't like speaking that language. I don't have any problem speaking Turkish, but I have a hard time speaking it. Not hard time in the sense that I'm unable to speak it. Of course, I can communicate well. I'm fluent in it. I'm just very uncomfortable trying to speak it. Sometimes people will say they can only have 2 kids, yet have 30 streaming subscriptions, 40 pairs of shoes, and credit card debt for no reason. Exactly. People spend so much money on dumb stuff, on stupid stuff. Makes no sense. Why, people don't have financial priorities straight. Their financial priorities straight. Thoughts on guns. Are Turks allowed to have guns? We're kind of. I mean, when my grandfather died, I was actually supposed to inherit his gun. Actually, my uncle was supposed to inherit it, but he also died. So I was supposed to inherit his gun, but my family sold the gun. So I never managed to inherit the gun. It will be amazing if I could. I'm pro gun. I'm in Turkey. There, it's. I don't think you're allowed. I don't remember the gun laws exactly. I think you can get guns. I mean, the stupidest kind of people manage to get guns. So it should be the rules should be lax. Um, it's not as lax as the United States, but it's not as regulative as Europe. Uh, I gotta drink a lot of water. I'm already tired. It's been 30 minutes. ASMR water drinking compilation. Beautiful. Except secular parents don't want to put their kids to work, just give them an iPad. Yes. That's also one of the reasons of mass immigration. When they say that, oh, the immigrants pay, the immigrants do these like menial jobs that you won't do. Yeah, those jobs are supposed to be done by children. Actually, some of them are supposed to be done by children in family settings, right? So I'm not advocating for child slavery, of course, but there's no problem with child labor. Child labor is way better than telling your kids to go play with an iPad and watch Minecraft or watch Onision or some other faggot YouTube streamer. Oh, sorry, I said faggot. I'm gonna get banned by YouTube. So it's insane. It's insane. People don't have their priorities straight. It's stupid. Um, what is your racial origin? I posted it already. Half Greek, half Laz. That means Georgian. Basically Greek, Anatolian, Georgian, those kinds of ethnic groups. Basically Orthodox ethnic groups, actually. That's my racial origin, basically. Anatolian. I would call myself Anatolian. Maybe Pontic as well, probably. African. Oh, sorry. Ignore that. I'm African. I'm black. Thoughts on Nick Fuentes and the Groypers? Oh yeah, my favorite topic, Nick Fuentes. I like Nick. I am fully aware of the fact that he has a certain affinity with traps and homosexuals. I am aware that he's Roman Catholic, and I'm aware I'm aware of all of those things. I like him because his politics, I think, is generally solid. I mean, I like the stuff that he's doing in the political sphere. In terms of, in terms of culture, I guess I don't like this new wave of Catholic groypers. I don't like it because a lot of them, they're not Catholic because of the religion. They're Catholic because of political cultural heritage, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't think that's cool. So I like Nick. I kind of like the groypers, but not too much. I think groypers. I think groypers are kind of a Catholic Twitter thing at this stage, which it's not a big deal if that's the case. I mean, they can have the groypers. I'm fine. I'm fine. You can keep the groypers to yourself. I'm not gonna do like, oh, David the real midwife. I'm not gonna do that. Like, you can keep that to yourselves. It's fun. It's cool. Nick Fuentes, I like the stuff that he's doing. I think he's a cool guy. I think he's the best political person in the United States, and that says a lot. So yeah, I think he's a good influence. I just don't like the political, like the cultural Catholic movement. I don't think that's gonna bear much fruit. But it's a movement to the right trajectory. It's much better than abortion and multiculturalism and whatnot. And I like the fact that Nick is open about the JQ. I really like that. I mean, that's actually one of the things that a lot of people try to stay silent about. And Nick's just straight up like, oh yeah, the U.S. is cozy with Israel. Like he straight up says it. That's a great thing. A lot of people don't say that in the political sphere. At least you don't have the last Uşağım yav. Benim Laz aksanım çok kötü yav. Yeah, Laz accent is pretty funny. Catholic Marian apparitions are either lies or schizo. Yeah, a lot of them. I know that the what was this? This is before the World War II. Not Guadalupe. Um, what was it? Our Lady of Fatima. Fatima is a geopolitical story. It's geopolitical. Let me find Fatima geopolitical. I think J Dyer points out J Dyer Fatima. There's an article on this. Yeah, J Dyer points out that a lot of the things that the apparition of Fatima said lined up with the British interests. So it doesn't really, there's no solid case for it being like an actual apparition when it's basically pointing out like political things that's going to happen. Here we go. What's the official language of Turkey? Turkish. That's one of the weirdest questions. I mean, I don't want to be mean to Anno Domination, and that's so completely acceptable because I just like kind of like, I heard a lot of Turkish people say what's the native language of Norway? Norwegian? Like, what is it going to be? German? What's the attitude on Athenian philosophy, including Aristotle in the Orthodox Church? Catholics like Aquinas, I think could be classified as Aristotelian. Yes, but I wonder what Orthodox think. So there's a great book on this, and Aristotle East and West by Bradshaw, I think. East and West. David Bradshaw, right? That's his name. Aristotle East and West. So there are uses of Aristotle in terms of certain logical categories he uses, but what Orthodoxy does with Aristotelian categories is that we transform those Aristotelian categories in terms of logic. I mean, you're using the same words, right? Like, for example, if you're going to describe God's energies, you're using the word energies in Greek. And Aristotle uses the word energies because it's a Greek word, naturally. So you have to use the same word, but in the context of Orthodox theology, of course it's going to be transformed. And so Aristotle does have uses in the Orthodox Church, but it's not the state of like Aquinas, where like Aristotle is a great philosopher who we should always follow in terms of theology, metaphysics. We don't do that, right? As a matter of fact, in the Seventh Ecumenical Council, this is condemned, I believe, in the first week of Lent, Sunday of Orthodoxy. I might be wrong, but there are condemnations of Hellenic philosophers, right? So Hellenic philosophy alone is condemned. So Platonism, Aristotelianism, they're all condemned. But the systems, there's the insights that can be used is transformed in Orthodox theology, not in the way that's transformed in Roman Catholic theology that's used in Orthodoxy. So there's a place of Aristotle, but in a lot of places we will diverge with how Aquinas uses Aristotle. So this is a great book, Aristotle East and West. So we're not anti-Aristotelians. We don't say like, oh, Aristotle's a faggot, we don't use him. No, there's use of Aristotle, but we don't copy paste his metaphysics in our religion. That's nonsense. That's ecumenism. We don't do that. Let's see. What is my? Hold on. All right. I'm alien to your tradition. All right. What is your main language? I mean, the first language I learned was Norwegian, and then Turkish. Then I learned English, but I kind of forgot Norwegian. Min norsk er ikke så bra. Jeg har glemt norsk. I can't even speak Norwegian. The words that they don't come to my mind. But I guess my native language is Turkish. Why not? But usually I think in English nowadays, most of the time. In English, I mean, thinking is intuition. I don't literally speak verbally in my own mind, but it's kind of like the first language that comes to my mind, let's say. Orthodox Groypers Unite. Ortho Groyper Squad. Leading a lot of young men astray, becoming Catholic to own the lips. Ortho Groypers are valid. I mean, sure. I haven't said anything negative about Groypers. I just said they can have the Groyper squad to themselves, right? I mean, it's a Nick Fuentes thing. He can keep it, and I'm not gonna counter signal that. That's all I'm saying. If Orthodox people want to use Ortho Groypers, go ahead. I'm not gonna use it. I don't see the point, but I can see the point for other people. That's what I'm trying to say. There's some Ortho bros in Nick's chat. Don't know if they're legit or LARPing. I don't know. There's no point in. Maybe they're true and they like Nick's political message. I like his political message, as I said. I'm just like, I'm not a Nicker. YouTube algorithm. I didn't say the N word. I said Nicker. That's a different word. So yeah, cultural Christianity is pretty stupid. Agreed. Have you visited Mount Athos? No, I didn't. I want to visit it, but I have a lot of time at my hands. I'm gonna visit it one day. We'll see. We'll see. What is your opinion on autonomous republics that want independence from Russia? I don't know. I don't follow Russian politics. I can't really make any comments on that. Whatever is good for orthodoxy is good for me. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't really have any opinion. Sorry. Native language of Sweden is Arabic. Yeah. Rapcha. Some region shared language. Yeah. Tatarstan is nearly half Russian. No independence is gonna happen. Blah blah blah. Still crazy that the Patriarch of Antioch is banned from Israel. I didn't know that. That's insane. Why? I believe it was the Patriarch of Antioch that recently spoke out against Zionism recently on Christmas as a Christmas message, which is pretty cool, right? We support you, Patriarch of Antioch. Love you. Make a video on the development of the terms ousia, hypostasis, physis, and prosopon. I just don't have. I don't really have the knowledge. I know the terms in their antique usages, some of them, but I don't have the hyper autistic mega knowledge on those terms, if that makes sense. Yet. Maybe if I can make a video on it, if I research about it, I will. Yeah. I mean, I already covered the terms, the way the terms were used in the debate review, with the fake Orthodox. What was his name? Joseph Juaden. I think his name was Juaden. His debate with his boyfriend Mike Enoch, not Mike Enoch. I'm just kidding. And with Severin Zealot, right? So check that debate review. I covered the terms used in the 4th century and the 5th century in Christological debates. So yeah, I mean, I already kind of covered them, but from what I understood, physis is used interchangeably. Yes, right now they are. In the modern context, they are. Although we use physis when we're talking about Christ and ousia when we're talking about God, right? So people don't usually speak of physis when it comes to Trinitarian theology, but they are synonymous, yes. However, by the time of St. Kirill, this is very important because if you don't understand this, you're going to be lost in the sea of Oriental heterodox debates and whatnot. By the time of St. Kirill, those terms meant different things. So in the time of St. Kirill, with Nestorius, the whole debate was actually on miaphysitism and diophysitism. But the diophysitism of Nestorius is not the diophysitism of Chalcedon. It's not the diophysitism of Orthodox theology that we use today. Right? So the diophysitism of Nestorius, for him, physis meant reality, right? Existing reality. Individual reality. So diophysitism in that context meant that there are two realities in Christ. That means there are two subjects in Christ. Now you can say that there's still one person, and historians try to say that, but St. Kirill points out that if you have two realities, two subjects, you are going to have two persons. You're not going to have a single person. And historians try to, pull prosopic union and other theological concepts. However, with Saint Kirill, he is aware of two uses of those terms. The Antiochian Christology kind of developed into a more orthodox use of that terminology when they rejected Nestorius, and this happened over time. So the whole debate is that Christ is miaphysite because there's a single reality, single subject, and prosopon is a faculty, let's say, of physis in that context, not in the modern context. We need to understand, but in the antique context, in the time of Saint Cyril. And because of that, if you say there's two physis, then that means there are two prosopons. That's what it logically leads to. And later on, when Saint Cyril accepts the modern terminology that we use today, right? So he comes, he sets the modern terminology that we use today, basically. So that this is what causes a lot of people to have a lot of confusion. And I will advise you to read Saint Cyril of Alexandria, Christological Controversy by Father John McGuckin. He's very good in dealing with these things. He also lines out the terminology of things. And I forgot to mention prosopon. What prosopon means, used to mean, is manifestation of reality, right? So if you have a single reality, well, you're going to have a single manifestation of that reality. Makes sense. So yeah, that's really what the debate between Saint Cyril and Nestorius was. It's not, mere physis didn't really mean ousia in that context, right? Saint Cyril always believed in two ousia, always. So yeah, David, you must like everything that we like or we hate you. Yeah, life of a YouTuber. I know that's really the life of a YouTuber. Feels good to have 1,000 subscribers, boys, right? Thoughts on the Jewish fate? They're fake Jews. It's as simple as that. A lot of people say that the only difference between us and Jews is that they don't accept the Messiah. No. They made a whole different Bible where they took out messianic passages that talk about Jesus. The Talmud speaks of blasphemous things about Jesus that I'm not even gonna mention. Both Jesus and Mary. So they're our enemies. They're fake Jews. And what does Christ say about them in Revelations? They're a synagogue of Satan. They're fake Jews. Who are the real Jews? Well, us, because we're the succession of the real old temple Judaistic faith. We are the true successors, right? So we didn't take over Jews in that sense, but we succeed them. So we are, in a way, it will be accurate to say that we are Jewish, but we have to qualify what that means. We're Jewish in the sense that we succeed the old temple faith, but we don't adhere to what Jews today adhere to, etc. So that's my thought on that. Nick and other Catholic groypers are holding on to Catholicism because of family and online irony. Yeah, it's basically what I was talking about. If you keep pushing and don't waver on theology and history, I could see a few of them. I mean, they're already fleeing Rome. There are a lot of them are fleeing Rome. There's going to be a lot more fleeing Rome. Is there a video with your conversion story? No, and I don't really plan. There's one on Orthodox Pilgrim channel, yeah, but I don't really plan to make one because I already have one with Orthodox Pilgrim. That's actually that we have. I made an intro, and this is way before I even made my YouTube channel, and I had my YouTube channel was in the works. So let me find that video. Orthodox Pilgrim. Let's see. There we go. So, I'd expect a lot more people. My conversion story with Orthodox Pilgrim. So there you go. So I already have that video there. So I already covered it. I forgot about it actually. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Leo. I forgot about it. It's been a while. Patriarch of Antioch spoken. Yeah, I remember. Patriarch of Antioch. I remember one of our Orthodox patriarchs just recently speaking out against Zionism. I remember. I don't want to find it. Thoughts on TRS sodomite confirmed. Is it possible to bake 6 million cookies in 5 years? Well, if you try to cook 5 million cookies, and then like buy 2 million cookies from your nearby store. I guess it's possible. Yeah, I mean, I think you can. Maybe might be possible, but you'd need to buy some more cookies. Uh, Thoughts on Messianic Judaism? Um, I like the fact that they accept the Messiah, but they are not really. They haven't really made that full conversion to Christianity. They're Judaizers. They're basically Judaizers, and the Seventh Ecumenical Council is pretty clear on Judaizers. They're condemned. They're outside the church. It's a wrong faith. You have to accept the complete Christian faith and the Orthodox Christian faith, basically. So it's basically my thoughts on Messianic Judaism. Do you follow Greek politics? Are they still based? None of the political parties are based. They're all shit. They're all terrible. I don't like any of them. Golden Dong is they're not religious enough. Any other party is basically like that. They're not religious enough. And if you're not Orthodox, then it doesn't matter what you think in terms of the political sphere in Greece. I mean, it's better. Yeah, I mean, Golden Dong is better than like the pro-abortion sodomites, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough, and it's a shame because Greece is supposed to be this very Orthodox Christian nation, but I don't see any orthodoxy there. I only see in monasteries and churches. I don't see it in the society anymore. I'm getting baptized this upcoming. Oh, glory to God! This is amazing news. So, one of my friends got baptized. Hera Bubu, that got baptized. So just recently, amazing. My friend Jayton Nick is about to be baptized. A lot of people are getting baptized. These are good news. Hopefully, people maintain their faith. That's basically what I'm trying to do here: is help people maintain their faith and learn more about the faith. Jay Dyer said that the Jews have not disappeared after 70 AD. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, they're still Jews. But when I say fake Jews, I'm not arguing about fake, like not in terms of ethnicity, but by faith. That's what I'm saying in terms of fake Jews. I'm not saying that Jews don't exist anymore. No, that's nonsense. There's also Jonathan Kompanik on YouTube who really deals with this like 70 AD preterism stuff. He's very into that stuff, so you can check him out. Jonathan Kompanik. Let me find his YouTube channel because he has a lot of videos on this. There we go. He has a lot of videos. He's a cool guy. Although I should watch more of his videos. Were you a Muslim before? Maybe. Kinda. I never went to a mosque to pray. So I never went to a mosque. My family never went to a mosque. So I don't really know. I mean, I will call myself Muslim maybe, but afterwards I kind of veered into atheism, then generic theism. Maybe like nominally speaking, yes, sure, but not. I mean, my just so I don't get quote unquote exposed in the future. I mean, I believe in the Turkish records, I'm still Muslim, but there's a distinction between having Muslim being said in your records and really being Muslim, right? There's no point in changing that. Doesn't really matter. Like when I die, and like when I go to when the toll house are after me of like if I'm being judged, are they gonna say like, oh, but your citizenship records say you're a Muslim, so I guess you're going to hell, kid? Like, no, that's not gonna happen. Dr. Michael Brown is a Messianic Jew. Can't watch because I'm on work break with no earphones. We'll do more live streams, King. Love your work. Gott mit uns. Sure, I'll do more live streams. I'm gonna do a lot more live streams when I get super chats. so I can milk money from poor kids like an evil piece of POS. But maybe I'll do live streams in the future. I like recorded videos a lot more. It's it's hard to do live streams. It's hard to speak in front of people during live streams. It's kind of difficult, but I'll do. Why not? Um, give me 1 second. I need to take a little toilet break. Wow, my hair is terrible. I have to take a toilet break. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Sorry for taking so long. I'm back. I don't think I took that long, but let's go back. Elstom asks, so does the known into natures of Kalkadan refer to Usi or the independent reality as in the older usage? It's a good question. I think it talks about natures, but there's also another thing about into natures formula of Kalkadan. It says that we know Christ into natures according to the intellect. Um, so it's according to the intellect. That's a qualification that Saint Kirill used, right? So a lot of the Oriental heterodox will it's in terms of usia, yeah, but a lot of Oriental heterodox will like use that quote and say like, oh, you're using this into nature's formula, and Saint Kirill never used this particular formula. Actually, he does use that formula. He says into natures is only acceptable if if you state that it Christ is into natures according to the intellect, and many other qualifications. All of those qualifications, by the way, Kalkadan passes. So this argument by the Oriental heterodox is completely stupid. You can check out my debate review. It's the debate review is basically like a complete, I will say, in destruction of Oriental heterodox attacks on Kalkadan, because we deal with a lot of this. But yeah, it's in terms of we know Christ is into natures, it's according to Kalkadan, and a lot of Cappadocian fathers, even Severus of Antioch, the heresiarch, admits that there are many fathers that use the into natures formula. Right, I believe Saint Gregor of Nyssa uses the into natures formula. Um, there are many fathers he cite, like Severus himself cites them, and I think it was Leontius of Jerusalem that ultimately convinced Severus that there are church fathers that indeed use into nature's formula, and that this formula also is patristic, just as patristic as out of two natures, which is used in Second Council of Constantinople, Fifth Ecumenical Council. So both formulas, Miaphysis and Diophysis, they're both used in Orthodoxy. They both emphasize different things about the same reality. And I know this sounds like an ecumenist talking point, like a Judaden things that I'm using an ecumenist talking point, but it will be ecumenist if church fathers didn't use this talking point either. So St. John of Damascus says the same thing. Leontius of Jerusalem says the same thing. St. Kirill of Alexandria says the same thing. A lot of the church fathers say that both formulas are acceptable. Second Council of Constantinople says the same thing. So Actually, you are the retard, Sosef Jew Aiden, the fake Orthodox, because he doesn't even know about the topic and tries to talk about it. How are you going to do apologetics when you don't even know about the topic itself? Give me a break. Yeah, I had to bring it up, talk about that because a lot of people are confused. They don't really know about the issues. Um, static. Is there static? No, it's not. Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool. Cool. Um, let's see. Oh, there's a lot of questions I have to go through. All the parties in parliament. Let me try to read this name. It's a Greek name. It's Photios Stephanopoulos. Okay, Photios Stephanopoulos. See, I can read Greek. Kind of. Right, it has to be Photios. Photios, whatever. All the parties in parliament are cucked with the exception of the Greek solution. Haven't heard of the Greek solution. It's a very conservative nationalistic party. The party is very openly. Okay, that's good news. What is it called? Greek solution. If that's true, amazing. Okay, I vote vote Greek solution if you're Greek. Um, sounds really great from what I'm hearing so far from you. Varoufakis. Varoufakis was here a week ago. Who was Varoufakis again? I don't know my Greek politician. Yeah. Oh, I know this guy. This is the guy that invented the hat economy in TF2. I'm not kidding. Yanis Varoufakis. He's the guy. If um if you have if you play Team Fortress 2, that guy is the reason you have hat economy in Team Fortress 2. He is the inventor of that economy in Team Fortress 2. Shout outs to that guy. I still don't like him though because he's an economic um disappointment. But shout outs. And it's a very esoteric lore. Jonathan Kompanik is really good, very knowledgeable on the Eskatania. Is it bad for a Christian to use phrases like Alhamdulillah or Inshallah or to call God Allah? I think the Antiochians call God Allah. So that's actually a question that I'm having with myself. Actually, like, should I call him Tanrı? Should I call him Rab? Should I call him Allah? Like, I believe the Antiochian church refers to him as Allah, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Imagine being a Muslim in Turkey. It is like being a cultural Christian in the Bible Belt in the US. I imagine. In a lot of places, yeah, it's very cultural. Do I look like... Let me see my hair. Okay, my hair looks good. Could look better, like this. But, look good. So yeah, do you think Elder Ephraim will be canonized as a saint? How hard is it to become a saint? I think Saint Elder Ephraim is going to be... I mean, even... Who's the current metropolitan of the United States? Elpidoforos. I can't say his name, but he used to be a metropolitan of Bursa. He called him a living saint. So I think that's going to happen really soon. How hard is it to... I believe you're meaning to be canonized as a saint, because anyone that's in heaven is a saint. Well, I know that Saint, not Proclus, but Saint, what was his name? He's from the 5th century. Saint Flavian was killed in 449, and he was declared as a saint in 451. So it can happen in 2 years, it can happen in 10 years, it can happen in 20, 50, 100 years, right? My patron saint, Saint David Komnenos, he got canonized in 2010, I think. But the reason for his canonization is also because like he was canonized before, so there's we found out he was canonized, so we might as well make it official again. I think he's a saint. I think he will be a saint. I mean, I think he will be canonized as a saint. It takes a while to canonize people today. Sometimes it takes a very short while. It really depends, right? It really depends. It's kind of like a trusted process kind of a thing. It's not really... if 5 years pass and he's still not canonized, there's no reason to be like despondent about it. Right? I believe also Father Daniel Sisoyev, he's definitely going to be a saint. He's not canonized yet, but he will be canonized for sure, unless something weird happens. Well, the reason why these processes take a lot of time is because it will be, um, they want to be 100% sure, right? They want to be 100% sure, and the way they're 100% sure is by testing miracles, right? So a lot of the people that are canonized because there are miracles attributed to them after their death. There's a lot of different things. David is the rightful heir to the Osmanoğlu İmparatorluğu. Ottoman Osmanlı İmparatorluğu. I am. Thoughts on classical atheist. I don't like him. I'll leave it at that. I don't like him. He's a classical atheist. Outside of being a heretic, which he is a heretic, he's not a heretic just because he's wrong. It's not, but he's really a heretic, and he's a. If you watch live streams of classical atheists, he can't speak. He's literally unable to properly speak. He's like if he's gonna talk about the essence energies distinction, it's like we accept, like Saint Dionysius, that's literally how he speaks. Like, calm down. It's just a live stream. I mean, sure, there's gonna be a lot of pressure, but calm down. The guy can't even string a sentence. Bro, English is not my main language. I can still string sentences together. It's not as fluid as it should be, but I mean, a lot of people can, and he's literally unable to speak. He can't speak. And he's banking, so like he's getting these like popular appearances, and he's still not as popular as he should be. He's popular on Twitter. Like, he speaks like a Chad on Twitter, but then you like get him on a live stream or get him on a video, and he's like, bro, like, try to watch the stream he did with Jay Dyer. Jay Dyer, classical atheist. I literally just searched classical atheist on YouTube right now. I'm gonna find it from Jay Dyer's page because I don't want to give this guy views. Jay Dyer. Where is this? I thought Jay will have a video on it. You should be able to find. I'll check Jay's channel. I found a video. I just don't want to give that guy views. I know it's very petty, but yes, found it finally. So this is an introductory debate. So they were like on good terms, and then classical atheist does this beta rage mode, where he completely turns on Jay because Jay messaged him. Oh, butter. I don't like that kid. That kid has if he was Orthodox, I will be saying the same things. Like, listen to the live stream, and take a shot of water, not beer, because you're going to die. Take a shot of a water cup every time this guy stutters or is completely unable to form a coherent sentence. Take a shot every single time. You're gonna like drink like 50 cups of water by the end of the stream. This guy cannot speak, and then he tells people, and he says he says that Jay has mental issues. You faggot! You're the one who has mental issues. Come to stream with me, and we can test it out, maybe. But then again, if he's gonna like say, like, oh, I'm not gonna debate Jay, but I'm gonna debate you, who's like weaker than Jay. It's like, bro, why are you being a faggot? Why are you being? I mean, he can't speak. He blocked me on Twitter too. Why did he block me on Twitter? Because I corrected him on something. I didn't even like say anything mean to him. He didn't block me when I said mean things to him, but he blocked me when like I said that he has no idea what he's talking about. In a nice way, by the way. I didn't say it in a ragey way. But yeah, classical atheist. I refuted him as well. And by the way, we might as well also refer to the refutation he had, because the refutation of classical atheist on my, so I did a video stating that his view on grace leads to polytheism, and ultimately the argument is used by Saint Gregory Palamas. Um, the argument that was used is that if you have created grace, you have two sources of grace. You have created, uncreated. So you have a created deity, uncreated deity. That's basically the TLDR. This is Saint Gregory Palamas' argument against Barliam. And one of the arguments he tried to use against me is I don't remember that much, but I saw his comment. I didn't reply because I thought it's useless to reply. I'm just gonna have to repeat myself because he's repeating himself in his own video. But one thing I state, he didn't really read his own sources. I read the sources that he cited, and they're talking about something entirely different. They're not talking about the things that he's talking about. They're talking about something different. They're talking about the grace of God that God has, not the grace that we get, right? And he's talking as if a Roman Catholicism believes in uncreated grace, which is a lie. So yeah, I'm forgetting what this stuff. But in terms of deification, he taught that uncreated grace also leads to polytheism. No, that leads to theosis. That's why you're missing theosis. We become God by grace. That's theosis. That's deification. This is authentic old Christian doctrine. Saint Athanasius teaches this. And for someone that's supposed to be teaching deification, which the Roman Catholic Church doesn't teach deification, that's not present. You can't have theosis with created grace. That's really the point about uncreated grace. Yes, we do become God, not by grace, but by not by nature. Sorry, not by nature, but by grace. That's theosis. So he thinks that theosis means that we're polytheistic. No, that's again, he claims to be a Dionysian. He claims to read Saint Dionysius, and I hope my neighbor is okay. I feel like my neighbor heard me, but never mind. He claims to have read Saint Dionysius, and when you refer to doctrines spoken by Saint Dionysius, he has no idea what he's talking about. So how are you going to be a Dionysian if you don't know what Saint Dionysius talks about? So silly. Anyway, I'm gonna stop there. Not gonna spend a lot of time against him. CT Block J and says Nick in the wrong direction. Bitch movie, not a verse. Thoughts on Ronaldo, best football player in the world. Cristiano Ronaldo. We respect. We stand our king, Penaldo. Who is your favorite Coptic e-girl? Actually, I know Coptic girls in real life. I have family friends who are Coptic. They're Syriac Orthodox, so they're part of the Oriental Heterodox Communion. They have I know a lot of Coptic girls. So they're our family friends. Those women, they're better than the Coptic e-girls on Twitter. Coptic e-girls on Twitter are terrible. Demonic. Alright. Ronaldo sucks. Lazio raped Juventus. He ain't wrong. How is your beard growing ability, King? Think you will probably look better with a stubble or something. It's not strong enough. It needs to be stronger. Which patriarchate do you think the glow-in-the-darks will target next? I mean, they're targeting Russia really hard, but Russia is not giving up. So I don't know. I mean, I think they're just targeting like every patriarchate they possibly can. They like Greece is basically has become their home base. EP, what I mean by that, I mean EP. EP has become their home base, which is very worrying. Let me find. The chat moves automatically sometimes when I'm like scrolling down. It's pretty annoying, so I have to scroll back up to see the comments. Apparently people like my classical atheist impression. It's a good impression. It's pretty accurate. Voted for the Greek solution. in the elections last July. Oh, this is way back. He's not a heretic because he's wrong. He's a heretic because he's retarded. Not really, but kind of. The video of Rushvi talking with Elder Ephraim is very interesting. I agree. Yeah, it is very interesting. I'm not getting knocks on my door, but I'm like hearing people walking outside. I'm like, are they hearing me? Are they hearing me? Because the walls are kind of thin, so people can hear you, which makes it hard for me to hide myself. But whatever. Is my hair status looking good? Gotta get my Nautica beret on. Show some hair. Got my headscarf on. More traditional than most Greek women. To be fair, some people are verbally limited. And yeah, I mean, sure, but like, I was kind of referring to the fact that he literally is unable to speak. And then he's talking about other people and say that they're intellectually limited. Like, dude, you're living in a glass house and you're throwing rocks. Thoughts on the Muslim belief in uncreatedness of the Quran and their supposed tawheed. I think there should be efforts towards approaching tawheed with SSH's distinction in a similar way to it is. One of the big problems is Muslims they don't believe in ADS completely. It really depends. There's a lot of different schools of theological thoughts in Islam, so it really depends. And the ADS proponents in Islam has been regarded as heretics, popular most of the time. The uncreated Quran, Father Daniel Sisoyev actually points that out and says that's polytheism, right? So if you have two uncreated eternal beings, you have Allah and then you have the Quran, there's not enough space. That's actually what the refutation is against polytheism. You don't have enough space for two eternal uncreated beings, so there only has to be one. And if you have Quran, you either have to be like a Trinitarian Muslim, like a dualist Muslim, I guess, which most Muslims are not, or you have to be something else. So, yeah, I think the eternality of the Quran does lead to polytheism. I think that's one angle that Father Daniel Sisoyev points out that is completely accurate. Father Daniel Sisoyev is very good when it comes to Islamic, anti-Islamic argumentations. The Mutazilites were a lot of Muslims regard them as heretics. But one weakness of Islamic theology, I guess ecclesiology, is that you have different schools of Islam under one umbrella. So you have like different theological thoughts between different Muslims, but they're not exclusivist. And because they're not exclusivist, what ends up happening is that it's like Anglicanism, right? You have like the Universalist Anglicanism and like the female bishop Anglican in the same like roof. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. It's kind of like that basically. It's not a proper ecclesiology. It's very weak. And I think if anyone's going to attack Islam, I think that's the thing that we need to pinpoint. Oh yeah, proud Albanian JC Denton, base name. How many Turkish converts or Turkish Christianity has there been in recent years? I don't know. Not enough. It's very low. I blame the EP because the EP gets like millions of dollars from interest groups. But what do they do with the money? Well, they don't. I know what they don't do with the money. They don't translate the Bible. And you might say, oh, they're Bible translations in Turkish. But you need study notes. Where's the... Let me find it. There it is. My trusty little study Bible. Let me check myself out. Where is this? Where is this? EP, where is this in Turkish? Where is this? You don't have this? Well, you don't have that? Then you have nothing in my eyes. Where's the Orthodox study Bible in Turkish? If you want to convert people, you might as well make study notes for them, patristic analysis and whatnot. You get millions of dollars from Joe Biden and from all of these different groups, and you don't have the money to spend on this. And then you're like, why are Turks not converting to Orthodoxy? Because the EP does nothing. Russia does more than the EP. It's insane. It's stupid. I'm so mad I'm so mad about what the EP does. So like that's basically like if I didn't know English, I don't think I would have become Orthodox. Honestly, I don't think I would have even like had the chance because what am I gonna read? I'm gonna read the Bible in Turkish. A lot of people read the Bible in Turkish, and I believe that those translations are done by Protestants. So what? They become Protestants. It's that's really how it ends up being. Anyways, since the debate, J versus CT Metova is not possible at this point, is it possible for an ortho bro to debate them? Can anybody set it up? I mean, they can set it up with Seraphim Hamilton or Father Deacon Ananias, maybe even me, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So yeah. Bidaya El Hikmah. Oh, we got a Muslim in the chat. The Quran is the kalam of Allah. It isn't separate from him. I recommend reading Al-Ghazali. Yeah, Al-Ghazali is basically the main, one of the more traditional schools. I believe, I'm not good with the names, but anyways. What do you think of Vlad the Impaler? Hero or villain? Vlad the Impaler, the guy that impaled Turks? I mean, that was cool, but I don't really know much about him. I mean, I know what he did against Turks, and I kind of know his backstory. And that was kind of cool, I guess. But other than that, I don't really have much of an opinion. Jesus the prophet in Islam, not just yeah, I believe Christ is a prophet. Unfortunately, the Anglosphere has little awareness outside itself. Heck, I speak to people to this day who don't know what Byzantium was because they don't teach Byzantium. They don't teach it in Turkey either. Actually, that's one of the other interesting things. They don't teach, like Byzantine history is not taught in Turkey, which is very interesting because you'd think that they will teach Byzantine history, considering, Turks conquered the Byzantine Empire. So what's up with that? Why don't you mention the people that you conquered? I don't know. It's like I don't want to go for the conspiracy point, but maybe it is a conspiracy. Maybe it might be a satanic conspiracy to just put that in. I mean, in universities they talk about Byzantium, but even then, it's not as extensive as it should be. There's a 1,000-year history of the Christian Roman Empire, and we don't see any of it. We don't see any of that. We don't see any of that today. Oh, I'm feeling like peeing again. But let's answer more questions. What are your thoughts on usury? Usury is banned in the Christian Roman Empire. So far, I think it's bad, but I'm not really I know there's biblical condemnations of it, but there's still some questions. So far, it's I'm anti-usury, but I don't know fully about the full scope. Our bank loans usury? If there's inflation, and you have to have interest on your loans because of inflation, naturally, is that usury? Are business loans usury? So I don't really know the answer of these questions, and I think I will know if I search the Byzantine history a lot more. Basically, if you were taught Byzantine history a lot more, I think we will know about these things. But it usually is anti-Christian. Yeah. Um, give me, give me one more minute. Gotta take another break. Black. Hopefully it's not taking too long. Uh, hopefully I won't need to take these breaks. Kind of tired because I've been tired these days anyway. I don't want debate. Stop debating, please. It's not as if I'm scared of debating. It's just that it's a celebration time, right? There's no point in there's no point in debating in an AMA. What's it like to be oh. We can set up a Catholic versus Orthodoxy debate on the kill stream on D Live. Will you be a bit oof against who? It depends because here's the thing about like I mean I'm not really too worried. What I'm worried about though is why is it going to be me that's debating instead of Jay or Seraphim Hamilton or Father Ananias or anyone that can debate, right? Why is it me? I will say outside of like most Orthodox apologetics, I'm like the weakest apologetics guy. I focus on the basics, right? I don't really focus on so like I will be up to debate people. If they're a lot more popular than me, then I can just get my channel up there and get some clout. But but I mean maybe I don't know. Killstream, that's blood sports, right? I'm not really too fond of blood sports, honestly. I mean, if I go blood sports mode, I can be very I can be very into blood sports, but I don't really enjoy doing it. um, Piss hype. Really depends on who and like again like Jay can debate them, right? I mean, he's the guy that debates these people. And if it's gonna be some random retard, why should I spend my time doing that when I can spend my energy and time doing something else? And Seraphim Hamilton does a lot of debates too. Like he used to do a lot of debates, and he's very he's very Western. Like he doesn't have any problem with RC theology per se. Um, he doesn't have any problem with RC theology per se. Well, he does, but like for example, you won't see him rejecting mortal sins versus venial sins. That's what I'm trying to say. So in some terms, like, but he's still better than me. He knows a lot more. So I just delegate it to them. Like I'm not scared. It's just that I'm focusing on the basics. I'm focusing for the noobs. This content is for the noobs. So trying to go advanced level, sure, I could beat a lot of people in debates, but there's a lot of different people that can do a better job than I do, right? And I would rather have them do that job. Um, what's it like to be under the ecumenical patriarchate? Is everyone a modernist? No, no one in our church is a modernist. Our priest is very traditional. Um, our parishioners are very traditional. They're not modernistic. I actually talked with a babushka in my church, and she was very wise. She's very pro old calendar. She's woke basically. She's very orthodox. She's very traditional. Um, and most of the this is basically the norm for our church in terms of like the EP. I don't go to the EP cathedral, for a good reason. People there, I don't know. Maybe they're not as bad. I don't know. My parish in particular is pretty decent. Um, but EP in the US, even EP in the US is not bad. I mean, I went to a Goark church in the US and it was pretty good. I love that church. I love the priests. I love the parishioners. Um, it's a good church. Why did Turkey go for secularism in the 20th century so much? Atatürk. He's basically the reason. If it wasn't for Atatürk, I mean, even before, like there was a progress of secularization in the Ottoman Empire, but Atatürk really like finalized and is the manifestation of secularism in Turkey. Um, in terms of, but as I said, I forgot the names of those like legislations, but they're like Ottoman legislations that pushed for a secularized government. It didn't work out. There was a lot of dialectical tension and fight between the Ottoman government, like the Islamist, no, the Ottoman government and the Islamist party, which was, the majority. They had a lot of strength, and so there was a eternal fight. And then international entrants came in. Britain, different nations tried to push for their own political views, and yeah, and that's basically how it ended up being secular. And so it's a process that started, I believe, in the 19th century, maybe even before 19th century, but it's really the 19th century where it started to creep its head. Do you keep track of the TRS guys much? Had thought about going on any of their part? No, I'm not going to go on TRS. I'm not going on TRS. Sorry. Um, I'm not against right wing views. I just don't like TRS. I think there's a lot of poison there. Tommy Hamilton is a great guy. He thinks Aquinas is, yeah, that's one of the things that I was talking about. My friend debated Tommy Hamilton. Type Tommy Hamilton versus Muslim. Type Sami Zatari versus Kabane. Sami Zatari. Okay. This is Kabane. Let me check that. Oh, this is like 9 years ago though. Kabane changes views like over time. That's the thing. Like I'd love watching Tommy Hamilton, Seraphim Hamilton debate people like with the knowledge that he has now, because I think he's very knowledgeable. And I think he's a good person, even though I disagree with his veneration of Thomas Aquinas and other people. But um, that 9 years ago, like 9 years ago, Seraphim Hamilton 9 years ago is kind of like a different beast than he is today. Um, easy victory. I don't know. Both was young. Yeah, that's when Cabana had the terrible. Did they have the bowl haircut? Like I can't get the bowl haircut mode on like this. How do I look right now? Was it like this? Like
Okay, so in the Bible it says that Jesus is God, therefore Jesus is God.
I'm not really making fun of him. uh, yeah. Cabana is OG. Yeah, he's OG, but as I said, like he's way better now. I think. Um, Orthodox traditionalist talks on the schism, EP, and Freemasonry. Great talks from a Rokor priest on YouTube. Orthodox tradition. Are you talking about Matthew Raphael Johnson? Ralph Groiper? He had the bowl cut completely covering his eyes. Okay, I can evolve to that. Let me try that. Let me try forming that hair. Let me use my autism cap as a transformation model. One, two, three. Young Seraphim Hamilton mode engaged. Hello everyone. This is Cabana the Christian. I cannot see past my own hair, but girls like it that way. I'm looking so hard. Can you see my eyes? I can't. Is that is that how Seraphim Hamilton? Seraphim Hamilton had the OG bowl cut, man. Fuck, I freaking love that guy. If he's watching this, I love that. I love you. You're great. It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. uh, but you need to get a better haircut, bro. Yeah. Ralph Groiper, are you talking about Matthew Raphael Johnson? Because I think that's the Orthodox traditionalist guy that you might be talking about. Because Raphael Johnson, I don't like that guy. He's not. I don't think he's even canonical. I think he's in a fake Orthodox sect. Although, I think he should. I think he should be excommunicated from the church. But the reason for his excommunication is completely terrible. Like they like got rid of him because of racism. I don't know if he was excommunicated because of that, but he should be excommunicated because of his Platonism. I think he's a Platonist. And Platonism is completely condemned. He's very pro Hellenic philosophy, and I don't like that. I don't like his tanga dance, like, oh baby, I love you, Plato, let's kiss. Like, I don't like that. I don't like what he's doing with Platonism. Um, Let me see. Did I miss something? Have you seen that video when he was 12 and debated Dillahunty? I didn't see that. Did he really? Wait, didn't Cabana have videos as an atheist that he still has because he's like, oh, I want my transmission to be recorded, which, great, like, that's great. I mean, nothing against that, but like he still has videos back when he was an atheist, evolutionist, whatever. Hey Sebastian Lopez in the house. Thoughts on Fuentes? Will he ever become Orthodox? I already talked about what I think of Nicolas Fuentes. In terms of will he become Orthodox, I don't think he will, because I think he's too, I think he's too into Catholicism because of cultural and political reasons. I don't think if he's gonna consider his religious allegiance, I think that's gonna take time, right? I think it's gonna be late. I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. No. Dr. Johnson is a treasure. For your information, Johnson is not a Platonist. Let me find. Of course, he will say he's not a Platonist, but I've seen him speak very positively about Plato. There's a lot of like weird websites about him as well, which I don't know how is it like his website, or is he like constantly making new websites because he's being showed? Where is he? So I found a website. I don't know how reliable is it, but apparently he's been working on a book against nominalism, which nominalism is heretical, but it's condemnation by patristic and Platonic authors. Now, why use Platonic authors? That's kind of weird, but that itself doesn't really prove anything. But I remember. See, this is like long ago, like a year ago. I've seen him like promote Platonism. Uh, I'm just looking at the chat. Founders of the Republic were very nationalist and secularist military tradition who loathed the dynasty and were in constant conflict which resulted in multiple coups. Yeah, I think secularism was more of an identitarian thing. Yes, it is. It's still an identitarian thing. A lot of, like, even the secularists in Turkey today are very nationalist. I think they might have even pushed Islamism, even though the young Turks were very much atheistic. It's actually a very specific version of secularism too, which is the French version. Johnson had a terrible article saying the Nazis were heroes for the Orthodox. No comment. No comment. Well, I think he explained that Platonism and what he's talking about are entirely different things. I mean, yeah, like if he, like, he might not be openly supporting Platonism, but the things he might be saying are might still be Platonic. Was your ancestors Yenicheris, David? Might be. I mean, I think they were. They probably were, honestly. I won't put it past them. A lot of ancestors are from Yenicheris, Janissaries. He rejects toll house. Oh yeah, I know that. MRJ rejects toll houses. The Nazis also butchered it. Well, I don't see any more questions, so I'm gonna take my time drinking water. Me drinking water and pissing. Name a more iconic trio. Other than the Trinity, of course. Dr. Johnson, Hoffman, and AMG, E. Michael Jones are the best academics in the dissident movement. I think that just speaks how poor we are if they're the best we have. I'm sorry that I'm being a bit too mean, but Hoffman is good. EMG is good in terms of porn, but in terms of theology, he's not good. And Matthew Raphael Johnson, no comment. I don't know. What is EP? Ecumenical Patriarchate, the Patriarchate of Constantinople, basically. It's the Ecumenical Patriarchate. Oh, his whole understanding of logos is off. What does he say about logos? That would be interesting. I mean, I don't want to change this. I want to change the direction of this stream to like let's spend 40 minutes talking shit about Matthew Raphael Johnson. I mean, I don't want that. I don't want this to be a call out stream because then it's gonna cause a lot of problems. I just heard that he has a lot of Platonic things that he said long ago. A lot of people seem to agree with me on that. E. Michael Jones's debate with Styx. I didn't watch that. I don't actually watch debates. I don't even watch that many YouTube videos. What I did notice is apparently EMG tried to separate morality from God, which is I think the biggest mistake he ever did. Jay notes that his morality didn't start from God, and I think at that moment he lost the debate. And then it apparently went on to like, is porn addictive? And Styx said that it isn't, because there's no scientific studies proving that it is addictive. That's like saying food is not addictive. The fact that obese people exist to me seems to prove that food can be addictive, but you know, I'm just a simple guy thinking out loud, you know. What do I know? Dr. Johnson's knowledge of Orthodox theology's own power exceeds Jay's. Oh, I don't agree with that. Do you watch anime? Anno Domination. Do you watch anime? Do I have anything that proves that I do? I mean, I have a Nintendo Switch, so that kind of proves that I probably watch anime. Yeah, I do. Not that much. Not these days. I used to watch a lot. Nowadays, I'm like, whatever. I don't watch it right now. Um, I don't. Um, there's certain animes that I like watching. One manga that I actually plan on doing a analysis because it's it's amazing is Akumetsu. Akumetsu as a manga, I'll recommend everyone to check it out. It's a really good manga. It's very political, but the politics of it is not cucked. It's actually it has a very good anti-establishment political message, and it's very good. It's actually pretty good. Um, but then again, it's been a while since I read it, and I read it before I was an Orthodox, so maybe it might have like a team. I don't think it has an anti-religion team, but it might have like certain teams that are like not fit for Orthodox Christians. I don't know, but it's. I remember it being incredible, incredible. I would recommend everyone check it out. It's one of those mangas that you will watch and be like, wow, like I expected like pedophiliac female 10-year-old children, but actually this is like epic stuff that I won't get it in any show in Netflix, any show in any part of the world. It's really that good. um has any of your family become Orthodox? No, I'm the only Christian in my family. Bidaya el hikme, favori yiyecek, favorite food. Benim favori yiyeceğim hamburger desem yalan olmaz. If hamburgers, I like hamburgers honestly. I like pizza too. Basically like the burger fast food disgusting food. I love them. Um I love pizza. I order pizza from what was it? Forgot the name. Little Caesars. And the reason why I'm even ordering from them is because apparently Little Caesars funded an Orthodox monastery. My source is Jeb from Twitter, so maybe he's wrong. If he's wrong, I'm wrong. But apparently they fund an Orthodox monastery. The moment I heard that, I'm like, okay, I'm ordering from them. I'm eating their pizza, and it's delicious. It's amazing. Favorite food I've ever eaten. But I like hamburgers. French fries I probably eat the most. So yeah, my food choices are bad. Don't follow me. Don't follow my food choices, please. Yes, I watch anime. How did you know? Is orthodoxy addictive? I mean, the fact that we have monks shows to me that it's addictive. No, I don't know. The person that what do you major in university? What do I major in university? I major economics. The fact that I had to even think about that shows it doesn't tell a lot about me. It actually tells a lot about the university system because I'm not studying economics at all. I'm just studying some stupid stuff that's completely irrelevant. So I study economics, but am I studying economics right now? Like my major is economics. I'm not really studying anything. And honestly, I'm using university as a stepping stone. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna care much about my degree. Is Joker the best? Is Joker the best movie of the decade? Decade. What is wrong with me? Decade. I don't watch much. I don't watch many movies. Joker will be up there. I will also say Contra Tiempo is a great. Alyosha, you're Spanish, so you will know that movie. Contra Tiempo is a great movie. It's an amazing movie. I watched it like 3 times. I watched it while I was in a flight to the United States. I think I was flying to the United States, and I think I was going to Florida, and I just checked like the Turkish Airlines like movie stuff, and I found like Contratiempo. Like I looked for thrillers, and I found that movie, and I was like, oh, the concept is pretty interesting. Like let me check it out. And I watched it, and I was like, I fell in love with the movie. I think that's also a great movie. But Joker is probably really good. I don't really watch that many movies, so I won't really know. Recep İvedik, shittiest movie of the decade, probably. Anytime someone talks about anime, hold on, let me. I feel like I forgot to breathe. I'm kind of having a headache right now. Anytime someone talks about anime, someone else brings up Berserk as if any person hasn't heard of Berserk yet. I actually didn't watch Berserk nor read it, so I don't really know. I kind of like slice of life stuff. People are gonna hate me for this, but I like wholesome slice of life anime. I think they're pretty good. Um, I watched Oregairo years ago, which was very good. I started. I shouldn't have stopped reading it, but I read its light novel. And it's pretty fun. Um, but yeah, pizza is top tier food stuff. I agree. Ben de seviyorum. Güzel, güzel. Döner. I live in Istanbul. Yeah, İstanbul'da yaşıyorum şu an. Döner ayrıca. Döner is good. I ate a lot of döner in the United States. Not in Turkey. I eat döner in every place that's not Turkey. That's kind of, you might sound weird, but Turkish people, I don't know. I think they make döner way better in the United States and in Germany. I don't know. It's weird, but yeah. I like that anime where the guy is a narcoleptic. I don't know about that. Mel Gibson's Apocalypto is the greatest movie of the 21st century. Don't at me. And as I said, I don't really watch movies. Is Star Wars the rise? Soy Wars. Star Wars is the shittiest series. Don't watch it. It's bad. Don't watch it. Moe fans are some of the most racist people I have. That's actually true. They're either mega racist or they're like mega faggots. Most of the time, it's both. And I hate Moe. Moe anime is terrible. Well, Berserk turned into a more manga. Little Berserk Academia. Moe manga. Yeah. Got any more questions? If you don't, I'm gonna start streaming Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Dota 2 on my. No, I'm just kidding. Revenge of the Sith is on Arachnid Kino. It might be, but oh yeah, this is gonna be a re-announcement. But if people are worried, with what authority are you making this YouTube channel? Right? Some people might. No one asked this yet. Well, I guess Juaden asked, but who cares what Juaden thinks and what his, like 500 subscriber account, like 500 subscriber YouTube account that's like existed for more than a year. Who cares what he thinks? But people might ask, with what authority are you doing like teaching Orthodox theology? Why are you doing this? Really, I got an approval from my priest. I got the blessing from my priest, and so I can do this. So I had the backing of my priest. So when it comes to Orthodox content, it's blessed by a priest basically. But in terms of personal content, like whatever I said in this live stream, it's obviously not connected to the Orthodox Church, but it doesn't mean that I'm like in an official position. I'm just a lay person, no different than any other lay person that's baptized. I just got a blessing of a priest, and I think this is kind of important to talk about, and I plan on making a live stream with Jay Dyer on this because I think this needs to go out. But a lot of people try to do things independently, which is a huge problem. I don't think they get a blessing from their priest. I'm not going to name names, but a lot of catechumens, inquirers, even baptized people, they don't get approval from their priest. They try to just do apologetics. They try to just do whatever Orthodox related, and you're not supposed to do that. That's not really a lot. You're not really supposed to do that. You might like start doing it and then say, I'll like once I find a church. Like in my case, it took me 5 months because when I started my YouTube channel, I didn't have a church nearby, so I just did it the moment I could, ask permission from it. But a lot of people try to do this independently, and I think it's not really an Orthodox thing to do, bro. I'll be honest with you. Especially if you're a catechumen. Most catechumens, they're not fit to like go out and debate people. What they're fit to do is to shut up, read the Bible, read the church fathers, play video games, maybe. No, ignore that. And have a good relationship with their priest and with God and pray. That's what you should focus. And then afterwards, that will come together. So yeah, what is 16 times 55? Let me think. 16 times 55. I don't know. I don't care. David is now officially an e-boy. I ain't debating now, buddy. Good. Um, I'm an e-boy. I guess I am. No, that's gay. Nah. Maybe. Yes. True. I have a selfie image. I'm gonna have a selfie image where like, where's my phone? Where I'm like taking a selfie and uploading it on Twitter and saying, "Hey girl, wanna slide in my DM?" But nah, we ain't e-boy yet. Not yet. Do you believe in ghosts? I I guess yeah. Like poltergeists are. That's the name of it, right? Poltergeist. What does poltergeist mean? Yeah, poltergeist. Yeah, I believe in the whole poltergeist phenomena. Yeah, I believe in that whole stuff. I'm in the process of converting to Oriental Orthodoxy from Islam. I mean, it's better than being Islamic, but I will say if you want to understand why Oriental Orthodoxy is wrong, and if you want to understand why like our view and where we have differing views, I will recommend you check the debate review that I had with an Oriental Orthodox that debated a fake Orthodox, an uncanonical fake Orthodox. Um, that debate pretty much outlines the whole controversy that we have with the Oriental Orthodox. There's also a stream I did with Jay Dyer that you can check out. And again, like it's really good that you're becoming a Christian, but I'm not an ecumenist. I will love if you were an Orthodox Christian, and in your journey, I will recommend you check out some of my videos relating Oriental heterodox. I'm not like people kind of misunderstand. I don't like hate Oriental Orthodox. I have Oriental Orthodox family friends. I don't hate them. I love them. That's why I want them to convert, right? I love these people. That's why I want them to become Orthodox. Debate review Oriental Orthodoxy versus fake Orthodox. And then let me find the Jade Dyer stream. I think the great thing about that stream is that I search Oriental Orthodox and it's like the it used to be top result. Now it's not coming up. Do I type Oriental Orthodoxy? No. Did they shadow ban Jay? I think YouTube might have shadow banned Jay. Anyways, I found the result, but Suryani Orthodox, yeah. Me and Jay on Oriental C and Council of Florence, which was a great stream, by the way. I like the Florence part. Have you ever had a paranormal experience, something you cannot explain? Nothing comes to mind, but I think I might have. I do remember an instance where I died, which is very weird, but I'm not even sure if it was me or me imagining it as a kid. I don't know, but I remember dying. This is as weird as it sounds. I'm 17, anyways. You're 17, like so what? Don't tell me you're gonna be Oriental Orthodox just because you're like 17. It's like the worst reason. Shma Mishael, may you be guided back to the Ummet. Yeah, may you be guided back to the Ummet of Orthodox Christianity. I think I missed. I think those ghosts may actually be just demons. Maybe they might just be spirits. I don't know. I don't know the full theological of it. So I'm gonna remain silent. I don't want to talk about stuff I don't have no idea about. Top 3 favorite nationalities. Any African nationality. Japanese. And Jewish. Those are my three favorite nationalities. Really, my three favorite nationalities would probably be, I don't know actually. Definitely not Finland. I think Russian, but I play too much Dota with Russians to not have them as my favorite. And I can't say Japanese because there's a lot of problems with Japanese society. I'll say Japanese. Why not? They're one of them. Georgian, Greek. Yeah, that should be it. Georgian, Greek, Japanese. Tour of icons, please. Prime, did you check out the icon that I was showing? This candle wax icon. Let me see if I'm showing it properly. There you go. This icon. I got this from Cappadocia. I got Prophet Job. I got a lot of icons there. I got icons all over the place. Actually, this area is the only place where there's no icons. There's an icon of Saint David Komnenos, my patron saint. Let me try to get this. Oops. I'm gonna have to do some fixing. But I got this icon of Saint David Komnenos. And his I forgot his children, either children or nephews. I think half of them are children, half of them are nephews. But yeah, my patron saint. Let me place it in a place that's not sacrilegious. Here. So yeah. But I just personally couldn't reconcile Chalcedon with Ephesus. Right? I mean, I already covered this, so need more to. I have Theotokos icons. I have Our Lady of Sorrows from my church. Oh, let me find it here. Now this is like kind of like me boasting, but here you go. I don't know how to. Our Lady of Sorrows. As you can see, it's Russian. God. So yeah. As a debate moment in the chat. And I'm just here like streaming the debate moment. Jews rock. Let me see. Thoughts on Smash? Smash Brothers? Love that game. Amazing game. I wish I had friends. I wish I had friends to play with. I had friends back in the United States. They might be watching the stream. I don't know. That I played Smash Brothers every week, and I always smash them. Haha. It's a fun game. I love playing it. It's a great party game. Pope Shenouda debated a philosopher from El Azura University in Cairo. But Pope Shenouda denies theosis. So, of course he's gonna get smashed. He's an idiot. I'm gonna be honest. He's an idiot. He denies theosis. Anyways, now that we passed 2 hours, should be enough. It was a good stream. Good stream. I don't think there are any more questions. And people are going down the debate route, which they can debate somewhere else. It was a fun stream, and really happy that I have 1,000 subscribers. Finally, you get to see my face. Finally, I can stream on. By the way, in case you didn't know, I also stream on Groyper.tv. I'm gonna promote that. I stream on Groyper.tv. Although I kind of think I'm gonna stream somewhere else because it's a good project, but there's not really enough people that watch it. Every time I stream, I'm always alone, which, you know, it ain't cool. But it's a good project. Wait, where is it? Where are I at? Did they remove me from the stream? Oh, no, they didn't. I was like, for a second, where is it? I thought I was on the streamer list. um, so yeah, I stream video games there. Usually streams Counter Strike or either Dota. That I stream there whenever I like basically play video games. So check that out if you can. I announce my streams on Twitter usually. So follow me on Twitter. Go on DLive. Yeah, I think I should actually. I don't really say anything that will get ban me on Twitch though, so I might as well do it on Twitch. I don't know. I'll do that. So I'll basically stream there whenever I have time and play video games. I might even stream right now, like afterwards. So yeah, what else? What else? What else? So yeah, follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is the same as my name on YouTube. Hashtag, not hashtag, at the real Medwhite. Which is here, which apparently leads to home screen, but it should be leading to my profile. Thank you all for watching. This was a great stream. We'll be doing a lot more videos. I plan on making a video on Sacred Heart and Eucharistic Adoration and how they are heretical, and some more videos that's gonna be down the line. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. We hit 40 views, 40 concurrent viewers midway through the stream, which is a lot. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless all of you. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.